Unfortunately, I'm in Berkeley County, and I'm very much surprised by some things that are in the atmosphere. We're trying to get on a schedule as far as our health and what's going on in the community, and there are different battles on different fronts. There's gay rights. I understand that there is an election time that's coming up. However, a woman has a right to decide who she has a sexual relationship with and who she does not. Who she has children with and who she does not, And I know we want to do open adoptions and things where people can plan to extend their families between a husband and a wife. They decide, and if there's a young lady or another couple that wants to have a child, that is worked out with all parties involved in an open atmosphere, not using antics and tactics to do these things without consent of all parties concerned. And I know our secret organizations, some of them have been used out of purpose in these type of things, but it's a new day, and they want to walk in purpose where people can walk into their offices and different things like that and have family planning or small business talks, expanding the area of small business or different ideas where they can be supportive instead of old slave antics that haven't quite died out. There's still a few to go, but it's 2020, and we've already had Trekkie days. We've already been to Mars and all the stars, so you know that we're not with dark ages. We don't need witchcraft. Now people are educated about their health and about their diet and what they eat, and they make a schedule to go to their doctor. And you don't have to do things like that. And many people, they have to get updated because they have been on jobs and have not been informed or kept informed. And many of them come out and people put them immediately to work, and they bring forth old ideas. And some people, as long as it creates $1, they'll go with it. But that's not good for America. It's not good for women and children. It's not good for them because there's such things as karma and bad energy and the boomerang. So what we need to do is to be informed, stop using these old antics. Some traditions are good, but when you got people on balls and chains, when you try to take choice and voice, then you're antiquated. And I understand there is some leadership where the majority rules. That's not so. And I know that Christ went after that one sheep, even though he had the 99. He went after the one sheep, but he did not jeopardize everybody else's life to do that. So those of you that are fighting hard to get just what one person wants, like the things that I'm asking for, it benefits not only me, but it benefits a lot of people. We don't need slavery. Like me, I have ancestry in Egypt. And you know how slavery was there and the woes of slaves. My soul, my old soul, never wants slavery in any form ever again. No sex slavery, no type of slavery. I want people productive on jobs that they're gifted to do, and for them to have voice and have opportunity. But the problem that I'm seeing is when you want people to have opportunity, they start wanting to take your voice. The very hand that puts out to feed them, they want to hurt that person. That's the problem that I see, and it's very sad. I don't go around telling people everything that I do, and now some people have found out, and their mouth is wide open, and I'm glad when it was times that God told me to just keep quiet and be still and know that I am God, that I did that. I was obedient to that. So I want the people right now who are still trying to fight me and hurt me and do all these kind of antics, to stop. You can't force me to do things. If you do it, you're speaking death unto yourself. And that's not only with me, it's with anybody. So I want, and for you that do movies, I want you to think about this. There was actually somebody, I won't call her name, but she actually wanted to do a movie on a person who was emotionally disabled and had to get on medicine or so, like Latuda or something, because certain tragedies happened in her life. And she wanted to expose that person through a movie without getting educated through disabilities education. There are disabled people's, there are laws to protect them. And I see why the laws are there. They become predatory on disabled people. And it's not allowed. And disabled people, I want you to understand, if a dog is a little god, what do you think? A disabled person is just a person that is stuck in a particular area or mode. There are some that can only think organization. There are some that can only think science. There's some, they're stuck in a particular area, maybe one or two. So they become an expert in something. Or of course, there are people that have loss of limbs, but those that are emotionally or organizationally disabled, that's what it is. Or they've been overused by society. So in light of that, I am just surprised at the ignorance on that level and what I'm seeing different There used to be segments in news that dealt with issues like that. There used to be Sunday morning programs of news that dealt with issues like that. And I know that I'm taking on a gay issue, and I know that they're trying to hurt me, hurt my children, but some of the most people thought about were gay people, trying to show them compassion. But you see what it has done for us. They've killed our children, tried to send our children to jail, try to prostitute not our daughters. I mean, you have to go back and see what has happened. Try to be female drug lords instead of nurturers and teachers and trainers, because they're abusive. So they have proven themselves. Try to use all manner of force. And, it's really, really sad. So you have to bring back out, yes, we have compassion, but let me slow you down. Let's stop. Because your condition is a mental condition. Anytime you want to use something out of adverse use of the way of its intended use, and that's the way your thought process is, that is a disability. And they're willing to kill for it. They have even stirred up white women. Honestly, they have stirred up white women to get in their fight with them to deter Caucasian women from really what they're supposed to be working on and doing. And it's inherently sad. And they've done white men the same way. And it's inherently sad that they would fall for such a thing. Because I when I grew up, I had white coaches and they were like dads. You know what I'm saying? So, it just, it's just a sad situation. It's really sad. And it should not be happening. In time you get something straight, we agree on this, we agree on that. They whine. And it is gay women. They whine at night at these people. Then they stir up other white women, and it's very sad. And then we have African American women where I just want to go to somebody and just ask them and it just be done. Oh, so you become lazy, in my opinion, because you have been sent to school to have half a brain, and if there's something, you're supposed to share, ideals and education and all of those things, and speak life into each other as women. And they've gone all out to pervert the children. Give children time to grow up. They don't have to have sex early. If they're mean and evil, there's apple juice, there's lavender, there's run outside and playtime. I mean, soldiers get PT. And if your African American sisters and brothers have wealth, thank God. Come together and continue to build wealth instead of trying to steal from them. That's what happened to Black Wall Street. And we don't want that. So I'm speaking to these white fathers that they have got to step up. And if you are with a woman in your life that cannot join your team in the situation, give her a specific job to do, and let her stay there, because she's, don't put her in the decision making at the moment, because her mind is not there to do that at this time. And pray for her to have understanding. I've had a lot done to me. My sister and a family even got on this bandwagon for their friends and within their organization. They're willing to do things against my rights as well, because they think it's popular. They think since they're older, these are the people that are going to be with them, and that I'm choosing not to be with them, and they're picking, and choosing who's going to be around them and who's not going to be around them. So they're trying to make me an insignificant person. Well, the good news is I don't force myself on anybody. I can read a magazine or a paper. I can walk on the beach and be happy. So if I have the gift of oversight and you are not happy with it, study your gift. If I have people and contacts and people that are important in my life and you don't have them in your life, you need to ask yourself the question, well, why hasn't she introduced me? Maybe some fruit inspecting should go on. And maybe I know that you are a dangerous person and that you should not be in their lives at this time. Or maybe they're a danger to you, and I don't choose for them to be in your life at this time. So, with that being said, for many of you, you know how to locate me. I'm on Facebook. You can hit me on Facebook. That's where I am. And to my parents in that generation of age group that are within your age group, I know that many of you came up in a time where there was a lot of incest and a lot of abuse, and you just didn't talk about things like that. Well, we're not in the business of talking about things about that. We're in the business of doing things about that. Through ministry, education, some of you may have to go to jail at some point in your life. But for the most part, it's submitting you with the information, not only to be healed from that, but for you to make better choices yourself, for it not to continue on with your children and your grandchildren and not affect their lives. You get a better life because you get to see your child not go through this and your child not go through that at any point in life. There are those that are mean, that try to use the circular and transference and all of these things that we have learned about in leadership and ministry. And you don't bow to them. And you don't join their team. Same people with funeral homes. I know that there have been some thieving, drug cartel, thieving funeral home people. We all know that. They'll write some books about it one day, and some have been written about it. I know that many of them are thieves. But there can be funeral homes of integrity that are built, that can open up and be ones of integrity and not be the way that some of these past funeral homes have been. And don't be so entangled about money. To serve money, you are really serving sin, and you're filling your body and everything with it. It is the root of all evil when it's idle for you. Some people get up early every day. I haven't made money. I haven't made money. I haven't made money. Well, with that type of energy, you drain the environment anyway, whether you know it or not. So, do not join forces with people like that. And if they are in your family, just walk away. Sexual sin, sexual slavery, through empowerment, through witchcraft is wrong. It's wrong. And right now, through camera, I'm hoping some of it will get exposed. You'll be able to see it. And the use of tourniquets and stuff like that. Really, it's very, very sad. I see you. I got eyes behind my head. So I see you. So slavery is dead. God is not. And if you look at the physical body of God and not his spirit and not his word, then ignorance is not bliss. And does he have people gifted like him? Yes. Did he have brothers and sisters gifted? Yes. So there are people hidden. So, stop being antiquated. Be better people. And there are things like Native Americans and healers and things like, all of those things are good and they produce jobs, yes. But the military did pellets back in the 60s. So don't retract so much. If you're going to get a horse, let it be for the enjoyment of riding and not embodiment and doing mean things. If you're going to have marijuana in your life, let the doctor know. Say, just say, Doc, I want to take this marijuana for this or for that. Some people can't explain why they want the high. but they could be in pain. They could be depressed. It's so many different things that treats that's treatable by marijuana and other drugs too, coke, opium, all these other things. They're in the household of pharmacy. You have to talk to your doctor. And those people who sold drugs on the street, I mean, that could turn into a FedEx job where you deliver things for pharmacies and different things like that legally prescribed, And if it is on the street, a legal amount that will not hurt people. So I'm not promoting any type of addiction. I don't want addiction at all. No alcoholism, no addiction. I know what alcohol in the wrong way can do for a family. And then they try to transfer those issues to your family and try to wipe out your youth and your beginnings and all of this stuff. But the thing about it is, the circular people try to use, but I'm destined, DESTINED. You can try to wipe me out. You can try to steal my husband. You can try to steal my business and my purpose, but I'm destined. That means you can't stop it. You can't stop it. You can't. To try to abuse me and all this thing, be mean and all of this stuff, wake up. The energy that you put to hurt me, you could be sitting at McDonald's or something, eating French fries with grinning children. Or, any number of things. They're paying you to hold me back. And you that are doing it are wasting your life. I'm saying you waste it. You're being deceived. So, if it's about me being obedient, you can look in the rule book and see that I'm a very obedient person and you are walking in rebellion. So to attack me, my Greek god name is Aphrodite, the goddess of love and divine nature. So if you can't take love, that's an inner problem that you need to fix. And love is not sex. Sex is a release, a chemical release in the body. It's not love. So to push yourself on people and to rate people and do things like that, you're not getting your groove on. It's not love. It's making you a worse person. You can interview, what's his name? I forget. He was a serial rapist, and they did an interview on him on 60 Minutes. And he talked about how internally he hated himself. I mean, he literally hated himself. Serial rapists hate themselves. People that are pedophiles hate themselves. And they try to have the misery love company type thing. And I know with gay men and their emotions, we cannot deny male menopause. It is very real. They need food. They need diet to help them chemically balance. They need money. They need exercise. You know, we talk about women, but you cannot deny male menopause. They will hurt and abuse another man. It's not even gay. So I say to you who have been like me, that have and they actually, do you know what was so stupid that was said? Because I raped you, the court is supposed to give you to me to take care of. Why would a court who's supposed to protect and serve give a rapist a person? This is how bad the mind is. I mean, Donald Trump is looking and saying, okay, y'all want America great again. Let's make it great again. And he's supposed to, Obama led the way with him, being around him through an inauguration, all of that stuff, for it to have a peaceful transition, for it to continue for America. And look what we have. I mean, the women all focused, fighting for gay rights and all of this stuff, when they should be fighting for children, men, women, and children not to be abused anymore, for it to be a happy economy. I mean, people travel when they're happy. People go different places when they're happy. And you don't keep a certain segment and say, I'm going to live off of you. You don't live off of people. You are taught skills to go out and do what you need to do. You don't live off of people. You're not supposed to make money pimping. I mean, do we have to bring back the movie Pretty Woman and a few other movies to show you that you don't pimp people and you don't do sex slavery? I mean, there was a woman that says, like, with the Pentecostal Holiness Church, she actually thought, and I don't fault the Pentecostal Holiness Church, but she actually thought, because they don't tolerate a lot of sin and they believe for you to be delivered, she actually thought you go out and hurt people who sin instead of putting them or offering to them a book or a class or something. Remember, churches are hospitals for the soul. And then with the Baptist churches, they are filled with organizations within them of leaders with other groups like Masons and different things like that. But they haven't been trained in the things of God. They've been trained and passed down of what a Mason does. And that's a big gap. You got groups that don't even know that they are the keeper of the holy and the separated apart. And when I say holy, people say, oh my God, that's so old and so anti. I'll never be holy. But holy just means that you are separated and set apart, because you can walk beyond being overly sinned. There's a pureness of your heart and a pureness of your soul. And I know people have tried to take that out of me, even though I've been through things. There's a pureness there. There's a childlike spirit there, not immaturity, a childlike spirit. It's a difference. There's very much so a difference. And I'll come out and tell you and be upfront. I personally don't believe that it is my life purpose for me or my children to be in a same-sex marriage. That is not God's divine purpose for me, my children, or my husband. Now, I know it's not divine purpose for a lot of people, and a lot of people are abused and just decided to stay together. But it's not the divine purpose for them. It's not. And from what I'm investigating and what I'm seeing, it needs to be revisited, and it needs to be dealt with. Now, I know that some people feel like a lot of things are happening because shows like Ayana, Fix My Life come on, and then you got Dr. Phil and all of these things, and they feel that people use witchcraft to keep these type of shows going. But I beg to differ. They haven't really even scratched the surface of addressing. I've seen Dr. Phil, I've seen Ayana Fix My Life, and some things that I would like to see with Dr. Phil's show. I would actually like to see a class on his show. Like, I would like to see on his show a person to come on the show and actually coach someone to having a better thought or thinking towards having a breakthrough concerning their illness. That's what I would like to see on his show. Now, a show like Dr. Oz's show, on his show, I would like to him to have meals, and it and in that meal it's talked about how we have it talked about diabetes, but talk about how this particular food helps with depression, or if you need to keep your energy up, those emotional things. You can eat things like apple juice and different things like that to help you, Camille tea, to help you operate and do better during the day. I would like to see those things. And I would like to see different education done in doctor's offices towards that. I know where I go to the doctor, they have the different screen and whatnot. I would like that. I also would like a show on senior dating. People 75 through 80 years old, and they have the thought that, I want to date you, but I'm going to, I feel like based on my faith, if my husband or wife have passed on, that I'm going to transition over to them, and what is my plan if that happens. I would like a show that dealt with that, a segment of the show. It would be very interesting to see that. I might have to do it myself, but I would like to see that. And, just real talk about how to deal with these children that we've allowed this new influx of witchcraft to attack and deal with. We got women after somebody else's husband when we got those men in jail. I know people have jobs and retirement, but those people don't have to lose those jobs. It's a better way. We can plan and do better than what we're doing. And we don't have to charge for everything, But people can't work for free, but we don't have to charge for every little thing. I've never been paid my worth. But neither am I going to take up your time to complain about it. But I've never been paid my worth. So, this is, and there are other people in my life that haven't been paid their worth either. My father, my mother, they were never paid their worth, on this side. They weren't. I have uncles and aunts that were not